Here we go, the final two. And I wonder, if our viewer wanted to take a minute, what do you think the final two would be? I think we would all agree it'd be kind of obvious, process of elimination. I can think of two really good sci-fi movies, I bet. But what order they're going to be in, we're going to find out right now because
I think Buckaroo Banzai would be first.
Oh, don't give it away. But Ken is going to end the suspense, or at least half of it, right now by giving us number two.
Number two, Star Wars.
Here they come! Good luck.
Whoa.
Star Wars is...
Heard of it. I've heard
of it. A little film done in 1977 about a young lad who gets drawn into...
Now, everybody knows the story of Star Wars. You could go shorthand if you want.
Use the tagline from the poster. It's about a boy, a girl, and a galaxy.
All right.
So number two is Star Wars. It's the story of a boy, a girl, and a galaxy.
Ooh, I like it. Great.
And not a dog. That's a different story.
Now, earlier I mentioned my number one film, my personal number one. It was 2001. Do I have it right that you're number one?
My number one movie on my list is Star Wars.
Aha.
To me...
Why do you love it so much?
It has all the elements. It's a straightforward story. I won't say simple. It's a straightforward story executed perfectly.
Oh, it's simple.
Special effects that blew your mind when you saw it. Acting that took the story seriously and pulled it off as a serious story. And created the foundation for these other films to then elaborate on and grow and I was going to say grow and prosper, but prosper is more of a Star Trek thing.
Live long and prosper.
But to be a foundation for the rest of the franchise to actually grow from. But without Star Wars, you don't get Empire Strikes Back. So you get the setup of Luke, the small farm boy, Leia, the princess that's battling for freedom, Han Solo, the intrepid loner, the ne'er-do-well. You've got Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the master who teaches the prodigy the ways of the Force.
You must learn the ways of the Force.
Iconic character. Oh, let's not forget Darth Vader. One of the greatest.
Can't forget Darth, Ken.
Can't forget him. One of the great movie villains of all time. All brought together in the very first movie, Star Wars. And the story is encapsulated in such a beautiful form. You've got the rebels who are being chased by the Imperial forces. They're captured. You've got a boy who is drawn into this entire affair unbeknownst to himself. He doesn't know the scope of what's going on, but he's drawn into the affair. They rescue the princess.
We have a reactor leak here now. Give us a few minutes to lock it down. Large leak, very dangerous.
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway. Luke, we're gonna have company!
Short for a stormtrooper?
Huh? Oh, the uniform.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
You're who?
I'm here to rescue you. I've got your R2 unit. I'm here with Ben Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi? Where is he?
Come on.
One of the greatest shots is just that very, very first shot of that starship, that spaceship floating slowly over the camera.
Star Destroyer. Yeah.
It's incredible, and it keeps going. It keeps going and going and going. It goes on for a long time. You see it and you're like, okay, this is it. And then there's the bay. The bay comes in and you're like, oh wow, that's a big ship. And the bay, and then you see the bay, and the bay goes by, and then it's the rest of the ship. It's like, holy shit, this is a giant ship. It's incredible.
It's my favorite shot.
Yeah, and
sure.
it had, like, let me, if I can chime in real quick. It has an element of fun about it. Like, it's a fun movie.
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
It's not wise to upset a Wookiee.
But sir, nobody worries about upsetting a droid.
It's because a droid don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose. Wookiees are known to do that.
There's action and adventure and danger. A lot of danger. And they're fun people and they're nice people. We like these people. Han Solo, we don't quite know what to make of him yet, but that's kind of fun. Like, is he a good guy or does he only care about himself? And then Chewbacca, we love Chewbacca. We love R2-D2 and CP3O.
Right.
Well, R2-D2 we love.
Whoa. Say that again.
We love these
C3PO.
C3PO?
You guys are going to raise the ire. Yeah, you said CP3O.
Okay.
Will be destroyed for sure. This is madness.
That's why we wanted you on the show, Gino. Stuff
mail.
like that.
You're gonna get hate mail. You
Oh
can't.
my
you
God.
Can't
Well, no,
actually,
actually, that was on purpose. We're trying to get as much feedback for the algorithms we can possibly get.
Woo!
I think his name and the droid
True
Hal. That droid Hal was integral
So
to the story of Star Wars.
You might as well start saying Dr. Spock.
We got all these really interesting characters, and then we have one of the great villains of all time in Darth Vader. Like, you got everything. Okay, what more do you want?
Well, and you hit the nail on the head, Dante. It's adventure. This is what the movie is. It's adventure. It's unmitigated adventure, which is it's a throwback to good, wholesome entertainment that had not been done for a while.
We've had some problems.
Will you shut up and listen to me? Shut down all the garbage matches on the detention level, will you? Do you copy? Shut down all the garbage matches on the detention level!
No! Shut them all down! Hurry!
It had an when they do the wipes, right? That's an old-fashioned device.
It was Lucas's. Yeah, I mean, this is sort of well-established lore and history, but it was Lucas tired of the sort of gloom of the 70s and wanting to have fun like he had fun with Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers and all that. And, he succeeds wildly. I mean, the influences of Kurosawa, The Hidden Fortress are well-renowned. But it's, you watch it and it just works. It's just really imaginative. I mean, I was telling Ken I'm kind of tired of it, and that's probably why it's gone down my list, because it's not a film I want to watch. But now you guys taking me back through memory lane, I can't. I'm kind of lying to myself, because... I admit it. I'm lying to myself, because when I look at the impact that it had on me as a kid, it's enormous. It's enormous, and it's not just me. I think the reason why we're all such nuts about it is because it was the biggest phenomenon of our era or our generation. It was just the kids today. I hate to say it, hate to use those terms, but they just can't fathom how big a shift it was in the 70s. Because the 70s were the greatest generation era for film, but they were very downbeat. They were gritty. They were introspective. They were a lot of downer films, And Lucas went, screw that. Let's have fun again. And that was a huge release for us. I mean, we went through Watergate. We're Vietnam. We had all these really depressing things going on, and Star Wars was a huge escape.
Also the execution. The thing is,
it didn't leave.
Like, my critique with some of the other films is the execution was perfect. George Lucas, for however he did it perfectly. The stars aligned for George Lucas. I mean, obviously he had a great technical team. The actors, although, in Star Wars, not the greatest acting in Star Wars. It got better and better as it went on. But the marriage of the technical and the organic just could not have been executed better. And so the shot of the escape pod leaving Princess Leia's ship, that shot of all of a sudden you're falling through space and you see the ship up there and now you're in that pod, like that was mind-blowing. And then all of a sudden you're on Tatooine and you've got these two droids walking along the sand and there's this giant skeleton of this creature you have got no idea about. It's like, oh my God. Every single scene was a new thing you had never seen before.
And then, Gino, you mentioned
sure.
the Akira Kurosawa movie, The Hidden Fortress. Now, have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
And I've seen it, and I love Kurosawa. You know, I love all his movies, and it's a really good one. And you can tell how, I mean, it's not a remake, right, or by any stretch of the imagination, but you could kind of tell.
But the influences are definitely there.
And when George Lucas, he uses a lot of Japanese motifs and Eastern motifs, and I think he gets it.
In this video, I'll be showing you some of the major influences that the Hidden Fortress provided for A New Hope. The film opens with two bickering characters wandering through the desert. These characters are perhaps the biggest link between the films, as Lucas mentioned he was intrigued that Kurosawa's film was told from the point of view of the lowest characters and not the heroes of the story. After an argument, the two characters part ways only to be captured and reunited. They are made aware of a princess being hunted by an evil empire, and they become helpers of the legendary samurai general Makabe, who is working to get the princess through enemy lines to safety. She is headstrong and independent and heartbroken at the destruction of her people. During their travels, Makabe is able to misdirect and outsmart his enemies with ease. The general must face a former friend in single combat. He wins but spares his enemy's life, who later returns badly scarred. He has a chance for redemption and helps rescue the heroes in the end. Outside of the story and characters, the filmmaking techniques are very similar, including the use of wipes or similar shots. If you've never seen the film, it's pretty interesting watching how some of its elements were adapted and repurposed by Lucas.
What age were you when you saw Star Wars?
I saw it when I was 7, and then 8, 9, and 10. I mean, Star Wars...
Did you appreciate it when you were 7, or did you have to watch it?
What happened with Star Wars is I saw it, and it was a blur because you're 7 and you can't process that much info.
Yeah.
Though strangely, Rocky. I loved Rocky when I was 6, and I still remember seeing Rocky. So Rocky's one of those films that I just remembered having like adrenaline rush.
I watched Star Wars as a kid. I must have been 11, right? I'm a little older than you.
Yeah.
And it was a blur. I remember going, I think I liked it. I don't know what happened. But like, I needed to be a couple years older because once I was like 13, I could begin to keep track of things. But like Star Wars, I'm just like, what was that, you know?
Well, what happened with me is I was such a comic book fan, so I had the Star Wars comics. I bought, you guys remember, this was a phenomenon, like absolute, like Star Wars just took over the world.
Yeah.
And I bought the Marvel comic book, and I didn't remember I'm reading the comic, I'm like, I don't remember that. I just don't remember that. Nope, don't remember. So then it became like, and then my friend Keith, he kept seeing the movie. His parents kept taking them to see it. And so then it became the competition. Like, how many times can you see Star Wars?
Boy.
And then I was like, shoot, I've only seen it once. I'll never forget. It was 1978, a full year in San Francisco. My parents drove. Please, can we see Star Wars again? Please, I got to see this movie again. My parents on a Sunday afternoon. My parents hadn't seen the film, and we drive to the Coronet Theater in our Volkswagen Bug. And the line on a Sunday afternoon in 1978, a full year after it had come out,
later,
at the Coronet. You know, the streets between Stanyon and Arguello. So the line was hitting all the way to the end of Stanyon. And my dad said, "Oh, forget this." And we drove home, and I was like, "No, please, no, we can wait for the next show, please."
But he was having none of it?
Nope. He's like, I'm not waiting in that line.
Kids, we will wait in any line.
No, I didn't see Star Wars again until 78. My friend Keith his dad took us to the Warfield Fox. Remember the Warfield Fox in San Francisco? Where the Warfield venue was. There was a
okay.
movie theater that had Dolby sound and 70 millimeter. I saw
Really?
70
on Market Street.
Yep,
On Market Street?
I saw it on 70 millimeter in 6 channel Dolby sound. So it was awesome, and I remember it was loud every time the TIE fighters and the lasers. It was just cool as heck.
We're shooting Empire Strikes Back, and instead of getting some rest, you partied all night with the Harrison Ford and the Rolling Stones.
Well, because I had rented the house of Eric Idle.
Is that true? Well, I was living in Eric Idle's house.
Look at you guys. You're just adorable.
I mean, she could be like this.
Little phone